All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here once again. It is, of course, Wednesday, June the 11th of 2025. So I wanted to go ahead and do another video here. This is technically my second video of the day. I did a short video talking about the whole Mariah May name change thing. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I gave my thoughts on that just briefly in the short video I did on the channel. And also uploaded some clips in regards to the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. So hope you guys are enjoying that, and hope you guys enjoy all the content that I'm providing here on the channel and my other channels. If you are, just a little plug here, go ahead and be sure to like this video, leave a comment after the fact, give me your thoughts on the topic that I'm going to discuss here, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support I can get. We're currently at 766 subscribers. We are very close to hitting 800 here on the channel, a little over 30 away from hitting 800, and then from then on it's another 200 until we reach 1,000, which is again getting my ultimate goal here on the channel, getting back to 1,000 subs. So if you guys can help me out with that, that would be greatly appreciated. And be sure to check out my other channels as well. Fortune 4 Shooters, my group channel, and Phantom Anime Reviewer, my anime channel as well, which is also gaining some traction. So as I mentioned before, it is Wednesday, and I'm back home here. As you can see, just been chilling out. It's a little past 5. Had a day off, so I've just been relaxing, chilling, catching up on some anime, watching some other stuff, via the laptop, which is right here in front of me. And so yeah, and I got the rest. I got today off, and I got tomorrow off, so I can just relax for the next couple days. And so I figured I'd go ahead and do another video while I'm thinking about it. And we are just a couple hours away from AEW Dynamite special summer blockbuster event. We got another 4 hours of AEW Dynamite in about a little over 2.5 hours from now. Like I said, it's a little past 5, so it's approaching 5:30. So I wanted to go ahead and do this video beforehand, then I can catch Dynamite a little later tonight. So here with this video, let's just get into it, because I spent 3 minutes just kind of rambling here. But so with this video, I'm here to talk about something that has come to my attention recently, something that has kind of been a talking point within the last day or so, based on a certain match that has been announced for an upcoming WWE pay-per-view. So here today, I'm here to once again talk about and give my thoughts on something that a certain somebody has been involved with, that being, of course, good old CM Punk, or as I like to call him, CS Punk, which is, if you don't know, that stands for Corporate Sellout Punk, which I basically dubbed him, which I basically started naming him since, he had the whole thing a year or so ago when he jumped from AEW to WWE after that bullshit, with the All-In thing with Jack Perry and all the other stuff, and then he's basically been barking off at the mouth about AEW, about Tony Khan in the past, and so I've basically taken to calling him Corporate Sellout Punk. I lost a lot of respect for the dude. He's CS Punk to me now. Or, as another name that I've kind of coined, in terms of social media, Z Pac Phil, because if you remember, of course, when he did the Colt Cabana, he was talking about, right before he left WWE, he was, WWE kept giving him Z Packs and shit, so I just started calling him Z Pac Phil. So Z Pac Phil is in the news again, and this time it's for a upcoming match that he is going to have. Apparently, I don't know if it was Raw or if it was, this past week on Raw, which I did not see, or if it was before that, or whatever the case may be. But apparently, CM Punk is scheduled to have a program with current WWE Undisputed Champion, Unified Champion, whatever the hell they call it, that being John Cena. The same John Cena who's had a absolutely horrid heel turn, heel run, absolutely horrid title run. He's fucking almost 50-year-old Cena. Guy can barely move. Guy can barely wrestle. His matches are shit. Like, he gets carried. I mean, it's been this way since, even way back when he was a full-time wrestler. Like, the guy had hardly any athleticism to speak of, and now that he's much older and he's been out of wrestling for so long, it's 10 times worse. It's like the dude's matches are fucking dreadful. Like the match he had against Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 41, people are calling that the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. The match he had against Randy Orton apparently was bad, and just pretty much everything that this guy's been involved with since this heel run of his has been fucking dreadful, and it's just like, people overrate the fuck out of it because it's John Cena, and again, it's because it's WWE and shit, but it's like, it's fucking dreadful, And now we got John Cena and CM Punk apparently are going to be entering a program, because I guess CM Punk, I guess, called him out or some shit, I guess, on a recent show. I imagine it's Raw. So basically what the topic is that CM Punk and John Cena are scheduled to face each other because, again, CM Punk called out John Cena for a WWE Undisputed title match. And it has been made official that that match is going to take place in a couple weeks from now at later this month. I believe June 28th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the exact date, but I'm pretty sure it's late June. But later this month, at WWE's next pay-per-view, that being Night of Champions. And this Night of Champions show is going to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So that likely John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Undisputed title will take place in likely what is likely going to be the headlining match, the main event match of that show, of that event, Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. So WWE's first, to my recollection, first Saudi Arabia show this year, first Saudi pay-per-view they're going to have this year. Unless they had one earlier and I'm just forgetting, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've been to Saudi Arabia this year. And so, obviously, since this whole thing has been announced, there's been a lot of discussion in regards to CM Punk when it comes to this match and when it comes to this event that they're going to be partaking in, mainly due to the fact that CM Punk seems like he's kind of going back on, I guess, previous beliefs. Because if you remember, years past and years prior, CM Punk was a very heavy advocate against competing and going to and traveling to Saudi Arabia. In fact, he was one of the most vocal individuals in the locker room. And well, I believe this was before, of course, his most current run with WWE when he returned back in 2023. But he was very vocal in regards to, Saudi Arabia and WWE dealings with Saudi Arabia and so on and so forth. He, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, among others, were talents that were pretty vocal about not wanting to go to Saudi Arabia, not wanting to do shows or wrestle matches or work matches in Saudi Arabia. Just because, I'm pretty sure that's what any sensible, sane, average human being would think. If you're from this country and you're going over to a country in the Middle East that obviously has issues or takes issues with the United States. We're talking about a borderline terrorist government that deals with all sorts of fucking human rights violations and all sorts of just illegal activities. You got the Prince apparently had a reporter killed years ago. Of course, everybody remembers that story. And all kinds of shit that this country was involved in years past. And now they're trying to, they're trying to reinvent themselves, or they're trying to basically clear their image, or change their image, or whatever the fuck. And that's why you got Saudi Arabia, all these Saudi Saudi of sporting events and all, and they're trying to basically rebuild their image or whatever the fuck. But that doesn't change the fact that they've had fucking questionable dealings, shady dealings in the past. This is not a country you want to be doing business with, with all the shit that they're involved with. So it's just one of those things. And so since WWE has started doing these shows in Saudi Arabia way back, I think they started around 2018, 2019. This was when Vince was still in charge. There have been a number of talents who have basically voiced their displeasure and basically said, no, I'm not going to this event, or I'm not traveling, I'm not participating in this event. And for a time, it seemed like WWE had honored, some of these wrestlers' wishes to not attend these events, because it wasn't necessarily mandatory. It was more so, they would give, for the most part, they would give certain wrestlers, at least certain, wrestlers at the top of the card, the option of whether or not to go, because it wasn't mandatory to, attend the show. Unless, obviously, you were a big enough name and the Saudi government requests that a certain name be there, like a Roman Reigns, like a Goldberg, like, Undertaker, whoever else. And so it's one of those things. And so, I think it's pretty obvious, what's the whole thing with WWE and Saudi Arabia is. It's, just riddled with controversy, hence why the term blood money was first coined. A lot of people consider these Saudi pay-per-views to basically be blood money. That's what it is. That's what WWE is doing. They want some of that Saudi money. That's why they keep going every year. They got this big contract, this 10-year contract with the Saudi government, where they go over there and they do shows at least twice a year, sometimes more than that. And it's one of those things. It's a very controversial, polarizing topic when it comes to WWE and these Saudi shows. But anyway, back to my main point here. So CM Punk is scheduled to wrestle at this event against John Cena for the WWE Undisputed title at the Saudi show, in what is likely to be the main event. Now, this is in spite of the fact that in previous years, he has taken issue with not only, these Saudi shows, or attending one, but he's just taking issue with them, WWE having dealings with Saudi, period. Going to these, doing these Saudi Arabia shows, period. He's been one of the most vocal guys in regards to that. And there was a situation that happened a couple years ago when, I believe this was before CM Punk went to this. I don't know if this was before CM Punk went to AEW, or I don't know, I can't remember, but it was many years ago, a number of years ago. CM Punk and Miz apparently had an exchange on Twitter. I read about this in the report when right before I did this video. And CM Punk infamously basically told Miz, or replied to Miz, he basically said, "Go suck a blood money covered dick, and go suck a blood money," or some to this effect. "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork." That's pretty much what his post was, which has since been deleted. And obviously he's in WWE now, and he and The Miz apparently made amends back in 2023. So for CM Punk to say something like that and to feel so strongly about going to these Saudi shows and being so adamantly against him, like I said, the Sami Zayn's and the Kevin Owens and others who have been, for somebody to be so vocally against it, now all of a sudden he's going to the show. And not only is he going to be at the show, but he's going to compete in the main event match, or the marquee match, the headlining match of said show, which has since sparked a lot of criticism, which has since sparked a lot of backlash from people online. I've been seeing this for the last day. At first I didn't know what it was in reference to. I thought he said something fucking stupid in regards to AEW, because that's what this dude has been doing since he's been back in WWE, taking pop shots at AEW because the fucking guy can't help himself. But now, apparently, it's because of the fact that he's going to be going to the Saudi show, despite the fact that years past he was so against it. He was one of the biggest names against it. Now he's just okay with going. And the report initially was that it was planned for months that he was going to be going to the Saudi show. And he didn't express any concerns or anything like that. He was just cool with it. So now, all of a sudden, years later, after being the most vocal guy when it comes to the Saudi stuff, when it comes to WWE doing shows in Saudi, now all of a sudden you're just cool with it? You're just along for the ride? I'm sorry, but I find that very hypocritical. I look at that, and I see a guy like CM Punk, who has been called out for criticism and stuff, or hypocritical statements and things of that nature in the past. And trust me, I'm not the only one who is saying this. I'm not the only one who's talked about this. There have been a number of videos here on YouTube alone within the last day of calling CM Punk out for, just the hypocrisy of the situation. And it's like, you sit there and look at it from my standpoint and from other people's standpoint, and the dude looks hypocritical as fuck. He looks hypocritical as fuck. He was making all this big fuss. He had that back and forth with The Miz. He basically told him to, quote, suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia. And now all of a sudden he's just going over there, and he's going to main event the show. Or he's going to be a main event, the marquee match, the WWE Undisputed title match in Saudi Arabia. Now he's just cool with it? I'm sorry, that to me seems hypocritical. So CS Punk, Z Pac Phil, after all these years of barking and arguing and being vocally against it, now all of a sudden you're just on board. I'm sorry, that makes him look like a big ass fucking hypocrite. He looks like the biggest fucking hypocrite in wrestling right now. And fans are right to call him out for this shit, because it's not fucking right. It's not fucking right that WWE has dealings with a fucking borderline terrorist government, and people should speak out about it if they feel strongly enough about it. And I hope some of those other guys who were, on that kind of, not wanting to have anything to do with it because it's just morally, it's against their moral code, or in certain cases, like I think Sami Zayn, it's against their ethnic, religious code or whatever. I hope that those guys at least stick to their guns, because obviously CS Punk is not sticking to his, because dude is a fucking hypocrite. He has been ever since he came back to the E. And it's just another testament, it's another sign of just how fucking full of it and just how fucking hypocritical this fucking guy has become since he's back on board. I mean, this is the same guy who said for years he would never go back to WWE. He had all these issues that he aired out, these grievances he aired out against WWE's doctors, against Triple H, against Vince McMahon, and all that shit. This is a dude who said he would never go back there. And now fucking lo and behold, years later, he went back there. He went back to WWE after that whole shit that happened with him in AEW. Instead of just riding off into the sunset, or maybe going to a smaller promotion and making them, you know, big thing because he's got this quote unquote appeal, because he's this quote unquote big star, he goes right back to the fucking place he said he would never go. You look like a big, between that and this fucking situation, dude looks like a big ass fucking hypocrite. He does. He does. CS Punk is the biggest fucking hypocrite in pro wrestling today. And people are right to call him out on this shit. And I had one fucking person, and I basically spoke on this when I posted about this on Blue Sky, I think earlier today or yesterday. I had some dumbass fucking reply to me basically saying, well, you see Punk, he's about to wrestle in front of more people than he ever did in AEW. It's like, first off, you moron. First off, to the person who said that, number one, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure CM Punk's last match before he left AEW was at All In 2023 at Wembley Stadium. You know, the show where they had fucking almost 80,000 people in attendance. But yeah, he's going to wrestle in front of more people in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia than they did in AEW at Wembley Stadium. Yeah, you sound like a fucking idiot. You sound fucking ignorant. You're a typical WWE Mark shill. So all I got to say to you is, STFU, you're wrong. Go fuck yourself. Simple as that. But yeah, so more stupidity from WWE drones. It is what it is. But anyway, so the fact that CM Punk is doing this match with Saudi Arabia without any objections, without any quote-unquote concerns, and he's just seemingly fine with it, just going with the flow, right? Going with the flow. After all this fucking time of being the vocal leader, after being this big, you know, he prides himself on being this big vocal guy. You know, he speaks out, he speaks his mind. Now all of a sudden he's just down, he's just drinking the fucking Triple H, drinking the fucking TKO Endeavor WWE Kool-Aid. Now he's just a team player. Now he's just a fucking company guy. Dude's full of shit. He's a fucking hypocrite, and he's a fucking hypocrite, he's a fucking turncoat, and he's an absolute sellout. That's what he is. That's what he fucking is. And I hope more people call him out on this shit. And I honestly hope some of these wrestlers call him out on some of this shit. You know, he and Miz made amends in 2023, but now that Miz is reportedly not there anymore, it would be hilarious if Miz like went on social media or something and just posted about seeing what CM Punk said and say, "Oh, you see, you know, you said years ago for me to suck a blood money covered dick. Well, now you can do the same." That would be hilarious if fucking Miz went out there and posted something like that. I seriously doubt he will, because I don't know about Miz's contract situation. I'm pretty sure, like, there were reports saying that Miz was going to be like, his contract is expiring and he was going to be let out of his deal soon. So I don't know, like, you know, that's kind of up in the air. But we saw what happened with that R-Truth shit, which I'm going to give my thoughts on that in a future video. But yeah, so CM Punk, you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking bigot. You're a fucking company suck-up. You're a fucking company man now. He is the biggest lying piece of garbage hypocrite in pro wrestling today, bar none, bar none. And for you to sit there and go back on your morals the way that you're doing is just a testament to how much of a sellout you've become. Very disappointed, and I lost a lot of fucking respect for CM Punk. Really, I've lost respect for him ever since 2023, but now even more so. So that's all I gotta say in regards to that. So CM Punk, I'm gonna tell you what you told the fucking Miz back then, that you can suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, because apparently that doesn't bother you now, does it? That doesn't bother you now, does it? It bothered you years ago, but now all of a sudden you're just on board. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid, right? Fuck out of here, fucking hypocrite. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I gotta say in regards to that. So those are my opinions, and I stick to them. I stick to them because unlike CS Punk, unlike Z Pac Phil, I actually stand true. I actually stick to my guns. I actually stick to my opinion. I actually honor the things that I say I do, and all that kind of stuff. And so my viewpoints and my views and my values don't waver because of fucking somebody throwing money in my face. Sadly, like CF Punk, his values seem to have changed, you know, on a whim, because he got that fucking almighty dollar, because he got that sweet Saudi money. So fuck off of that. Anyway, that's all I gotta say for this video. So thank you for watching here. Once again, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on anything I touched on here, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support I can get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. So thank you for watching once more. Until next time, Wrestling Otaku, I'm out for now. See you guys later. Peace.